Hello and welcome to another week of WANL TV, and what a fantastic round of fixtures it was across the weekend and into early this week across all three divisions, particularly in the league where we see the West Coast Warriors remain undefeated at the top of the table and the Coastal Sharks in a thrilling come from behind win over the reigning premiers, the Perth Lions. A little later in the program, special guest will be the team manager of the Coastal Sharks League side, Deb Poole. We'll take a look back at all of those fixtures from the weekend and look ahead to what is another exciting round of the Smarter Than Smoking West Australian Netball League. First up, let's take a look back at the results from round 4. In the league division, the Warriors extended their winning streak to 4 games with a 10-goal victory over the Flames. It was a tightly contested match in the first half, but the Warriors scooting out in the second, outscoring their opponents 32-21 to set up the win. A great game from Emma Kosh, shooting at 20%. No respite in sight for the winless Flames either as they take on the Rangers. The feeling around the Flames camp, though, they're not too far away from their first win of the season. In the second game of the round, an absolute thrill. The Sharks defeating the reigning premiers, the Lions, by just 1 goal. The Sharks coming from 9 goals down at half-time to clinch victory in the final seconds. And it was the injection of Sharks shooter Katie Sweatman in the second half that proved the difference. She came out and shot at 100% across the final 2 terms, 16 from 16, leading her side to victory. For the reigning premiers, they have slumped to 1-3 to start the season, and the run gets no easier across the next fortnight with fixtures up against the Demons and the Rangers, but if anyone can find form, it will be the reigning premiers. In the final game of the league division for round 4, a comprehensive victory for the Demons, 67 defeating the Rangers 42. An opening quarter of 21 goals to 9 set up the win, and that deficit allowed them to test some combinations at the end of the match. For the Rangers, that's now 2 consecutive losses, but it is to the top 2 sides, so there's certainly no shame in what Nat Jones and her side are doing out there at the Rangers. So let's take a look at what that means for the league ladder after 4 rounds. The Warriors, as I mentioned, the only undefeated team. They are in top spot on 8 points. The Demons sit in second with just 1 loss on 6. The Rangers sit there in third on 4 points, alongside the Sharks also on 4 points. The reigning premiers, the Lions, sit in second last position with just the 1 win from 4 games I mentioned on 2 points, and the Flames round out the ladder, yet to register a point in season 2016. In the reserves division, the Warriors 76 defeated the Flames 48, and the Demons 44 defeated the Rangers 32. A bye for the Warriors, Jets and Lions respectively. Whilst in the 18 and under division, the Sharks 52 defeated the Tigers 24 in their first of 2 games. In the second fixture, the Sharks 49 also defeating the Tigers 34. The Warriors 54 defeated the Flames 36. The Demons and the Rangers played out a 45-goal draw, and the Lions had the bye. Our special guest this week on WANL TV is the team manager of the Coastal Sharks League side, Deb Poole. Deb, a fantastic result last round, a come-from-behind win over the reigning premiers. Yes,
it was great. The girls were all pleased, and we came back from a 9-goal deficit to win by 1 goal. So it was exciting towards the end.
What was the message from the coach at half-time? As you said, you were down by 9 goals, and we know in netball that momentum's hard to arrest back when you're down by such a deficit, so it must have been a pretty stirring speech to turn them around and erase that deficit.
Yeah, Sel's sort of on the quiet side of that. She just instructed players to virtually go back to basics, take their time, don't force the ball too much, and just lead on to the ball. What does it do for the confidence of the team when you can come up against a side like the Lions, who of course, as I mentioned, are the reigning premiers, and they get out to a lead like that and you not only manage to peg it back but go on and win? What sort of confidence does that give the squad? It does, and it was a good win. We've had 1 loss, so it was really good coming onto a win, and we had some girls that haven't been in the team over the past couple of weeks due to other netball commitments. So it was good for the team all to come together, and
You mentioned just the 1 loss so far. It's only round 4, so it's still early days in the season, but must be pleasing how you've got off to a strong start this year.
Yes, it is quite strong, but we're up against Warriors this week, and they're undefeated. So it's going to be challenging, but I'm sure the girls will put the work in, and hopefully we'll come away with a win for that game as well.
You mentioned the opposition this week. What have you made of the Warriors' start to the year? They're obviously undefeated, as you said, and they seem to have come back from that grand final loss incredibly hungry to make sure they go one better this year.
Yeah, they are. And unfortunately, I think Lions have lost a few players from last year, but they're still a strength, and they've had a couple of losses, so I think they're hungry, and they'll be a team to look at in the next couple of weeks and probably finals rounds as well.
Just for the Sharks specifically, it's a great mix of talent this year. There were a number of state representatives at youth level, but also a couple of older heads. Is that, do you think, a key to success in terms of having that nice mixture of experience and youth to have players, I suppose, mentor those younger players coming through the system?
Yeah, it is. Our last premiership was in 2011, and we had a lot of older, mature players in that team that have since left, and we have got a very, very young team. We've got some girls that are still playing 17s in nationals, so they're up there. We have got a very, very young team, so we're looking forward to them getting the experience in the league team and settling in nicely.
And just finally, Deb, you've been with the Sharks now for 9 years. How have you seen the progression of the region, I suppose, not just at a league level, but down through the reserves and the 18s division? Coastal's always been a strong outfit, and they continue to be so it must be nice to watch the progression and growth in strength of this region.
Yeah. We've got, as I said, we're breeding some new young guns, but we've got programs down at grassroots level, and we've got SharkNet that we've set up, which I think a lot of the WANL teams are doing, and they sit under the 18. So they're only 14, 15-year-olds. Some are 16. The breed of them coming through will be good, and everybody will be going up the ladder from there.
Well, Deb, it's been an absolute pleasure to have you as our special guest this week on WANL TV. As you mentioned, big game coming up against the Warriors on the weekend, so look forward to that, and best of luck for the next few rounds.
Okay, thanks a lot.
Let's take a look ahead to round 5 of the Smarter Than Smoking West Australian Netball League, and a couple of blockbusters in the league division. First up on Tuesday night at 6:30 on Court 1 at the State Netball Centre, the Perth Lions face off against the Demons. On Court 1 later that evening at 8:10, the undefeated Warriors take on the Coastal Sharks, who will be brimming with confidence after their come-from-behind win over the Lions last week. And to round out the league division for round 5, the Rangers taking on the Flames, also on Tuesday night at 8:10. That game taking place on State Netball Centre, Court 2. Just the 2 fixtures in the reserve division for round 5 on Sunday morning at the State Netball Centre at 10:40. The Jets up against the Warriors, while on Tuesday night on State Netball Centre, Court 3 at 8:10, the Sharks will face the Lions. And in the 18 and under division, the Jets and the Warriors will face each other to kickstart round 5 at 9 a.m. on Sunday morning on State Netball Centre, Court 2. The Demons up against the Flames on Tuesday night at 6:30, also on State Netball Centre, Court 2. The final game of the round, the Sharks up against the Lions, 6:30 Tuesday night, State Netball Centre, Court 3. That's all we have time for on WANL TV for this week. Thanks again to our special guest, Coastal Sharks stalwart Deb Poole. We wish the very best of luck to our coaches, players, umpires and officials right across round 5 of the Smarter Than Smoking West Australian Netball League. See you next week.